And we're away on the all vehicles random all on the Ventoso for the first lap. 630 laps, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner. And we're on lap 1. Let's go. I guess the first thing to do is have everybody guess where I'm going to get the dozer, what lap. So I've got a number of talking points to go through because, I mean, we're going to be here for a while. I'm going to use these first couple of, well, the first stint of this to talk through these talking points. Give some background to the race. All that kind of stuff. Basically set everything up. Alright, away we go. It's time to start with the randomness. Minivan custom first. Oh, it's hectic. Gonna be here for a while. So yeah, I've got a number of things to say that give some backstory to the race, and I actually wrote them all down just because, I mean, it's going to be so hectic. There's also a lot of notifications that have been happening in the stream before we started the race. Oh. Then I need to restart. I actually paused all the notifications, so if anybody's subscribing or giving bits or anything and you're not seeing it pop up on the screen, I will restart that when we've settled down a little bit. Dropped way down the order in this minivan custom. But that's the first one, the first vehicle out of 630, and then the Voodoo. Wow, some slow vehicles to start us off. Okay, that's the way we're going today, is it? Short circuit, 32 drivers. Okay. I was just about to say we had a little bit of calmness there, but then there's cars everywhere. So, the first thing to say, I'm just going to go through all these talking points and it will take me as long as it takes me. The track that you're seeing, it's called Cutting Coroners. My testing track is obviously Cutting Coroners GP. And this is a shorter version of my testing track, as I'm sure it's probably easy to see. And even with that, this race is still going to take upwards of 7 hours just because there's so many cars. We're talking 40 to 50 second laps, and then even slower cars will be much slower than that, but it's a fun little track. It has, you know, it has some interesting corners, a few sort of mini straights. AF Drafter, okay. First reasonably quick car, I would say. Oh, was that me? Looked like he went into... I don't think that was. Because I think he went into the... He went into the car that was in front of him. That's the only reason I ended up hitting him. If I even did it, I think, you know, lag and all that. Got to be careful of lag bubbles in this one. It's all going to be about... oh wow, that is lag. Minimizing the time that we're, you know, getting involved in accidents and all that kind of stuff. Shafter V12 next, okay. I'm taking it very easy on these first couple of laps. I'm just kind of feeding my way through it. Like, I don't want to push too much. I just want to kind of, you know, it's a marathon, not sprint kind of idea. That's how I'm going for at the minute. Because it's so hectic already. So yeah, if you don't already know, the number of laps in this race is equivalent to the number of cars that it's possible to get in a random all race. Ooh, nice car. So 630 laps. That means there's 630 cars that it's possible to get in a random all. That doesn't include every single car on the Project Homecoming server. There are some cars that don't appear in a random all because they're a bit, you know, too crazy. And we see those when we do the random pain game modes. But we're doing every single car that every time we do a random all race, all of these cars could come up at any point. We normally do the 25-minute random alls. This is significantly longer than 25 minutes. Alright, Osiris. Nah, I've got to wait for that. Always when I'm in a good car. So obviously you might be wondering how on earth are we going to get through, you know, a 6 or 7 hour race. Without brakes. there are brakes. Oh, did I ever tell you about this car? This is the Penumbra. I'm so glad I got this early so I remember to say it. This Penumbra is actually much quicker than the Penumbra on the on vanilla GTA. This is the Project Homecoming Special Penumbra. It's so much quicker and it's really nice to drive. See the chat just going crazy with. He said the line. You know, that's a line that I have to say. I'll have to do it. I'll have to remember to do it for the Rapid GT as well when we get that in this race. Gotta do it. All right, we're already on to lap 10. Only 620 to go. So yeah, there are 2 mandatory 10-minute pit stops. So we'll be coming into the pit lane between laps 200 and 215. We can choose, and laps 400 and 430. Those are the pit. That's the pit window. And there are. Everyone has to do those 2 pit stops, and they will last 10 minutes. So you have to come into the pit lane, stop in the pit lane, and just wait for 10 minutes before you can carry on. Oh, CW19, very early. Oh, I think I wrecked him. I absolutely did wreck him. God damn it. Typical. Both times I need to be wary about that. I've wasted my good cars, and I haven't. I've still plenty more to come, but I mean, I'm at the risk of doing that. Tunic's in the habanero. Into the POT. So yeah, lag bubbles are a thing on Project Homecoming, of course. You do have to be aware that, you know, you've got to give a little bit of space to get around people. And the thing with this race is that the people who are going to win. Oh, there's our first of the Unholy Trinity. Oh no, there's two from the Unholy Trinity with the tractor and the lawnmower. That's going to happen guaranteed during this race. But yeah, the people who are going to win this race are the people who are going to deal with the slower cars and the meme cars the best. You know, if you lose a second or two by not executing the taco van. So early for the taco van, beautiful. Yeah, if you lose a second or two or a tenth of a second in a quick car, it doesn't matter so much in comparison to losing like a minute by rolling over in the habanero or, you know, having a bad lap in one of the wheels, for example. So I'm not expecting to win this race. I'm not planning to win this race. I'm very much planning to just try and make it to the end. That's all I'm going to try, and that's my goal. If I can make it to the end, I'm going to be happy. But yeah, it's my experience with all of the bad cars isn't quite as much as what some of these guys are going to have, who are always racing on the server. I get one lap of the bad cars. There's the first dozer. But it's a long race. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Long way to go. Starting to see some more of the Unholy Trinity. Yeah, if everyone's going to get the Unholy Trinity in this race, which means it's not going to be everyone getting a t-shirt. I have said though that I am going to give an Unholy Trinity t-shirt to the winner of the race. I actually haven't said that publicly really yet, but that's the way that it's going to be. Unholy Trinity t-shirt for the winner, just as a little way for me to say GG. That's a drift car. So yeah, drift cars and drag cars, things like that, that's where the race is going to be won and lost. How well you do in the bad cars rather than how well you do in the good cars. So right, what have I've kind of chopped and changed between all these talking points that I had listed. I've said about the pit stops, number of laps are equivalent, yeah. So yeah, the random all pool actually changes all the time. Cars get added and taken away from the pool of vehicles that can be chosen in a random all race. Ooh, the lost sandbag. So, you know, there's some cars that you might not see that have been removed from early random alls, and some cars in the future that will be added that won't be in this one, but this is all the vehicles that it's possible to get in a random all as of right now. Obviously this is happening live now on Twitch, and you guys are reliably informing me that we've broken the viewer record for any of one of my Twitch streams, so thank you all for being here. Nearly 3,000 of you guys are crazy. There's a lot of notifications that have been happening with subscriptions and stuff. I will be unpausing those at some point, but we'll wait until there's a bit of a lull before I do that, because that's going to go on for a while with just constant notification sounds. So thank you guys for being here live. Thank you for all the support. If you're not watching it live, if you're watching it as a YouTube video, this is going to be going up there's going to be a different part for this race every single day over the course of the next week, if you're watching this on the day that the first episode goes up. My plan at the moment is to do maybe 100 laps for every video. So the first episode will be laps 1 to 100, the second episode will be laps 101 to 200. That's my plan at the moment. But if you're watching this on YouTube on the day that this goes live, the first episode, you can enjoy the next week of constant uploads of every single day. This week will be a new part of this race. So that's the function. That's how it's going to work for YouTube. If you're watching this afterwards on YouTube, there will be a special playlist as well, where you can watch it all back to back, or for example, if you've watched up to episode 3, you can just go back to the playlist and load up episode 4. As always with all of my videos on YouTube, they're all in their own series. This will be on its own series, in its own playlist, all the videos back to back, and the link for that will be, as it always is, in the description and pinned comment for every YouTube video, you'll be able to see that. So just a little bit of information for those watching it on YouTube. These bloody rusty cars with their advanced handling flags that they've added to make them bouncy and horrible. Advanced handling flags, at least they're having, you know, one use, I suppose. But yeah, if you're here watching it live, you're in for a long one. If you're watching it as a video, you're in for a long video as well. I much prefer doing that idea with multiple videos over the course of a week with a new upload every day than just doing one single like 7 to 8 hour video. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we've got this is going to be about 7 or 8 hours. Just to keep that in mind. It's a long one. We're in it for the long haul. Originally it was planned to be about 6 hours, but then it turned out that that was a little bit of a miscalculation, so it's going to be significantly longer than that. Starting at 6 PM UK time, so probably going to be racing until about 2 AM my time. Right, what else? I've said all about the YouTube stuff. Pool of cars I've talked about. Oh yeah, that's the thing. This will be interesting to see how you guys like this, because in essence, this isn't really. I mean, a lot of sometimes there's people who don't like random class or other variations of random all because it's not like truly random. But it's interesting that everybody wanted a random all vehicles random all, because this isn't random either. Well, it's random in terms of the selection, but this is basically a random all race. It's a random all select, and it's a random class race all in one. So you know that's by the end of this race, everybody will have had the same cars. So there is going to be an element of skill. You know, the person who wins at the end of the race will be the person who's done the best throughout the race. And like I said earlier, it's probably going to be the person who's done the best in the bad cars. But because everybody, you know, it will close up. The gaps are going to be huge after 8 hours, but it will close up at least a little bit towards the end. And yeah, it is, you know, there is a competitive element to this over the course of 8 hours, because by the end of the race, everyone will have had the same cars. Obviously, it's going to vary. Sometimes you're going to have the slow cars early on, or some people can have the quick cars early on, and then it's going to all come together towards the end. But yeah, there is an element of competitiveness there, and I guess it is closer to being a random all select. Oh no! Than it is, you know, a regular random all. But it's also a random all just with 630 cars, which happens to be all of them. Okay. God, this is a tricky one. First drift car. But yeah, like I said, I'm not aiming to win this race. All I want to do is get through it. I'm 30 years old now. It's the 10th of May, which means it's 5 months to the day after my 30th birthday, 10th of December. I'm just going to be happy if I can make it through between the breaks without peeing myself. So I'm going to be very happy if I just make it to the end. That's my goal. Alright, that wasn't too bad of a lap in the first drift car. I'll take that. Park Ranger. There's your first wee woos. I'm significantly down the order at the moment, 21st. You guys are crazy in the chat. I feel like I feel like I should be putting the chat on at some points during this race. I probably will. We got a long time to go. Again, everybody who's giving you know, notifications that are popping up, thank you. I will be showing those eventually. I just want to get through all this first. There's going to be a good amount of time with a lot of notifications popping up, so be prepared for that, everybody who's watching. Fugitive. Probably the most average bog standard car. Oh. We've had. Looked like he hit the inside barrier there. Yeah, I wonder. It would be. I imagine that whoever gets the dozer last will probably be have the best chance of being in the lead going into the late stages. But the gaps can be, you know, so big that maybe not. Show notifications when you get an Unholy Trinity vehicle. Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually. I am still reading the chat, but obviously. Oh. Was dodgy. The space was decreasing as I was going into the corner, and then obviously I couldn't go any further closer to the inside. Yeah, I'm gonna miss a lot of the chat. And there's going to be long periods of this race, obviously, where I'm just not talking at all. Be prepared for that as well. Just the way that, you know, I'm going to have to be able to stop talking and just get through certain parts of it for a few hours. What else? Yeah, like I said, I'm going to give the winner of this race the Unholy Trinity t-shirt. Oh yeah, I'll explain about how the event came to be. So this has been asked for a long time by everybody, all of you guys who watch these random alls. It's a very common thing to ask. What about an all vehicle? What about a random all that had all vehicles in? It's been a long time coming. People have asked for it, and it has already happened in the past. Sarah and Baron, who I organised this alongside, they did the first one of these, and it was, you know, it took about 13 hours because it was around my original testing track. I didn't participate in that one. 13 hours, probably a little bit too much for me, I think, but that they also had 100 less cars back then than what they have now. But fastest car in the game, yes, the Adder, the fastest car in the game. I've got to make sure I get a good lap in this. But yeah, obviously they wanted to do another one, and I wanted to obviously do it because it's what all you guys have wanted. So after the MCEC, well, Baron and I talked about it actually before the MCEC, and we sort of said, all right, let's try and organise it for after the MCEC, and obviously the MCEC has finished now. So yeah, we're finally, now that the MCEC finished, had the time to be able to get it together, and here we are. Interestingly, the sort of the random all race that sort of kicked off random alls on my channel and is still the most viewed random all race is the episode 2, 40 laps in 40 cars in 40 laps. That was also a random all event hosted by Baron, and I just jumped into one of those races. I think he was doing 24 hours of random all, and I just jumped into one of them. So yeah, we started with the 40 cars in 40 laps, then we did the 132 cars in 132 laps. Might have been 131, I never remember. Then we did 200 cars in 200 laps, and here we are now doing 630 cars in 630 laps. Quite the quite the difference, I think it's fair to say. Quite the jump. Short wheelbase Bobcat. I'm not even paying attention to my position during all of this, by the way. I have no idea where I am at any point. It doesn't really matter until the end. It doesn't matter even at the end to me. Gonna try and get through people cleanly. Whatever car that is, it doesn't seem to do the car. Is it a drag car? It doesn't do the corners very well, but it's pulling away on the air. It must be a drag car. Top 32 is always possible. Yes, that's it. Oh, something that I should mention. Been working on this for a while, thanks to the two guys who did this. I didn't actually write them down to mention them, but they're listed on the spreadsheet itself. There is now a spreadsheet for random alls. I'll link it in the description of this video and in every random all video going forward. But it lists every single random all that has ever occurred, including every car that I've ever gotten in any random all race, what lap it was, what track it was. Oh, this looks hectic. It's quite the creation. The two guys who originally, like, there was two guys who basically did this independently. Yeah, I hate the Vamos. I hate it on regular GTA, but on FiveM Project Homecoming, it drives pretty nicely. Yeah, there was two guys who basically logged every single random all race, every single car that I've ever had, what lap I got, lap times, all that kind of stuff, and they did it independently, and they linked it in the chat, in the comments and things like that of YouTube videos. So I eventually got them both together, made an official version, so you can access that now. It's quite the piece of work. It's you know, a lot of effort has gone into that that spreadsheet, a lot of cataloging of data, and it will continue to be updated. Bruffy.com/FiveM records is how you get to it. It's totally, you know, it totally it doesn't have any useful function, but it's pretty interesting nonetheless, and you get to see, you know, where my most often I've finished in random all races and what car I've had the most, things like that. Bruffy.com/FiveM records. This will be added to that, but on a completely separate sheet, because it's, you know, it's kind of a bit special. Who doesn't love a good spreadsheet indeed? Alright, I think that's everything. There's one last thing to say. I was talking about the Unholy Trinity t-shirt that is normally handed out to someone who gets a... Wow, that dozer! It's normally handed out to someone who gets a Unholy Trinity. That's the tractor. That's the tractor, the... oh, that's... Okay, it's the rocket tackle van. Okay, of course. And he's gone straight off. The tractor, the lawnmower, and the dozer. That is the Unholy Trinity. It has happened once that someone's gotten the Unholy Trinity in a regular 25-minute random all race. Obviously, everybody's going to get the Unholy Trinity in this race. So that free t-shirt doesn't apply to everybody in the session, because I'm not made of money. But I am going to give the Unholy Trinity t-shirt to the winner. But if you want the Unholy Trinity t-shirt, or any t-shirt from my merch store, there you can use a code for this weekend and for the entire week that this goes up on YouTube. The code is just random all one word, random all, and you can get anything on my merch store for a discount, whether it's a t-shirt or a mug or a sticker, badge, whatever you want it to be. But yeah, thought I would mention that. I got that code created just for this event, so take advantage of it if you want to. Again, just for this weekend that it's happening and for the week that this goes up on YouTube. Tell you what, I like this van. V12 Yuga. Got some power. 30 minutes to talk about all the talking points you had. Very efficient. Oh, there's the first tyre that I've seen. Oh no, I've seen others actually. Oh, there he goes. The Infernus. Do you know what? I'm looking forward to getting every single Infernus that I'm going to get in this race. I absolutely love the Infernus. And some of the variations of it on this server are fantastic. I think that's all the talking points I've got. Yeah, it was quite a lot, and obviously trying to fit that all in with everything that's going on as well. only 7.5 hours to go. Or however long it's going to be. Oh, I should mention there is half an hour left over, I believe, at the end of this race that allows everybody to finish. So, oh, that was my best lap in the Infernus. Nice. Cars everywhere. So, yeah, under normal circumstances, the race finishes when the leader finishes the race. So when the person who's leading the race, when they get to the final lap, they've done all the cars, that's when the race would normally finish. And obviously that would mean then that there'd be a lot of people behind who weren't on the lead lap who wouldn't get all 630 cars. I believe this is how it should be, at least, that there's half an hour after the leader finishes for as many people as possible to get all 630 cars in this one. I've been stuck in this sort of mid-pack for quite a while, that 15th place-ish. I feel like that's right for the kind of cars I've had, I suppose. I've had some bad ones, some good ones. I haven't had anything crazy bad yet. Sneak through on the inside. Beautiful! In the Esperanto. That's not beautiful! No! Bloody hell! Marbell. Let's go. 2,900 of you almost watching. Thank you guys so much for watching live. Hope you're enjoying. I did try to put it out there as much as I could in terms of letting as many people know as possible, so you can set reminders and all this kind of stuff. Hopefully it helped. This Marbell is not quick. So yeah, I think it's a good idea actually, what someone put in the chat earlier. I'll restart the notifications when I get one of the Unholy Trinity cars. Or when there's just a lull. Because, yeah, there's going to be a good sort of half an hour, maybe more, of just constant notifications popping up from the stream because you guys have been crazy. One of the first ones of those will be the 100 gift subs. So thank you guys so much, seriously. Even, like I say, even though that things haven't popped up on the screen just yet, they will pop up eventually. But thank you everybody who's supporting by subscribing, donating, giving gift subs, bits, or just being here and watching. Whether it's whether it's this race on YouTube, on Twitch, or any of the videos that I put out, or any of the streams, I appreciate you guys so much. And obviously this is my job, this is my career. Without you guys being here and watching, the people who are here and donating, and the people who are here and giving gift subs and things like that, they wouldn't be here either. So thanks to all of you guys for everything, for all the support. I really, really appreciate it, and I never take you guys for granted. Thank you so much. And I just hope I can continue making stuff that you guys will enjoy. All the Bruffy loves in the chat. There you go. I was a little bit soppy there, but sometimes I just have to, especially in a moment like this. It's a special race, it's a special event, and already, you know, we haven't even got to the end yet. Craziness has happened for the stream, and there you go. Some combination of Bruffy loves and wee woos. First chat appearance. Yeah, I can never say it enough, you know, the thanks that I have to you guys. Speedo! Still quite a rare van, the Speedo, isn't it? In regular GTA, it's not very often that you can spawn. It spawns. It's pretty rare to see. It took me a while to get it in my garage. Just as for vans, yes, just as for vans. Do you know what? I actually wouldn't be surprised if I end up being able to talk for the entire 8 hours, because I'm going to have so many little tidbits of things to talk about for every single car, so many little interesting factoids that I could say. I'm going to have to like try and rein myself in so I don't get, you know, too tired too early. Alright, let's calm it down a little bit. Like I said, the way that I think this is going to work for YouTube is that I'm going to do every 100 laps will be a new video, and then I'll probably do the final 30 laps in their own special video as well. So having major issues there. So yeah, let's take a bit of time. A lot of this race is just going to be me sitting, probably doing nothing, just driving around, being quiet, just to be able to make it through. This is 5 MCEC races back to back. Alright, gotta concentrate with the drift spec. Alright, let's do it now. Since I already haven't gotten the dozer yet, I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat and wait for me to put the chat up on the screen so we can record it. And those who are watching on YouTube, you can leave it as part of your comment as well if you want to do a guessing game. What lap am I gonna get the dozer? Have a guess. Obviously it's not going to be lap 1 to 46. Okay, that's gone way too quick to record anything, but if anybody guesses it correctly, and I'm sure there's going to be no way to know, the way that it'll have to be will be someone will have to say, I actually guessed it correctly, and then we'll have to look back on the VOD and see the chat box and see if we can actually locate the time that someone did guess it correctly. But major props if anybody actually gets it correct. The chances are pretty slim that anybody gets it exactly right, but yeah. Obviously that's not going to work for those watching on YouTube, because people could just... Although I suppose on the first day, if it comes out in parts... Oh no, people would already know by that point anyway. Alright. I wonder if we can make a straw poll. If one of the mods can do that. When the chat calms down a little bit. And do like 30 to 6:30. 30 to 1:30. 1:30 to 2:30. 2:30 to 3:30. And we'll see what people think is what is the most common in terms of which 100. And then you're gonna have to give me the results. Diglett made a form. Okay, you're gonna have to communicate the results to me mid-race though in the chat as well, because I'm not going to be able to look at it during the race, obviously. There is a form then being posted in the chat, I guess, with a link. For those who are watching now, you can watch live. Look at this ridiculous machine. Stuck in 15th. This is my position. Alright, 40 minutes in. Yuga Classic. So I think I've done a lot of talking to get through all those talking points that I've kind of worn myself out immediately. I might turn the notifications back on now, since this will be sort of towards the end of this will be towards the end of the first video. I feel like it's a good time to do it. It might be annoying to some of you, obviously, because it's just going to be a lot of notifications, but I want to play them because, you know, I appreciate it so much, and I don't want people to just not have, you know, I tell you what, I could turn the sounds off after a while, actually. Still have the notifications popping up on screen. We'll have sounds for a little while, and then I could mute them. Still have them pop up on the screen, and then we don't have the sounds all the time. Let's do that. That's a good idea. I need to concentrate with this lap though first. Wait till I get a good car. I'm not going to be reading out any of the donations, obviously, because there's too many and I'm trying to race. Ow! Ow! Oh, wow. In a drift car, that's bad enough. Alright. Comet 4S. Bit of a normal car now. This isn't too bad of a lap. Nice clean air in front. It's so hectic, that's the thing with 32 players. You just back on the back of someone immediately. That was a nice clean lap. Almost best lap. Reaper. Alright, couple of good cars. I'm waiting till I get a somewhat slow car so it's easier for me to unmute. We'll do a normal random all race on this track at some point as well, now that it exists. We have to. I wonder how many of you are going to stick this all the way through. Props to anyone that does. Either watching live on Twitch, so you're here for the whole like 7 or 8 hours live, or just everybody who manages to make it through the entirety of the race on YouTube, like actually watching every single lap. Oh, rip Baron. There is a rejoin feature. We're all having to rejoin during this race at one point, so I wonder if he can get back in. sneak down the inside. That worked out pretty well, actually. The RH5 pace car, the right-hand drive Elegy with the lights. Cool car, this one. Ooh, tried to do the cutback. There was someone there. Carrying too much speed. I need to tell him no. Panemi in the wheel. That's going to be a struggle, that one. That wheel lap. So much in the mid-pack. Oh, beautiful car. Absolutely beautiful car. Love the Vigero. It's all just about avoiding people, getting out and not being involved in crashes, more so than anything else. Oh, here it is. Alright, careful. Careful. So there's going to be 4 wheels during this race. That's too many. 1 is enough. We got the off-road. Is it the tuner, the Formula wheel, and then like the SUV wheel or something? This is one of the newest additions. I just don't want anybody to hit me. Alright, 1 wheel done. There we go. Beautiful. I'm not jumping, don't be silly. Yay, Baron got back in. The amount of difficulty I've had with restarting these notifications, I feel like I might wait until the first pit stop, because I'm not going to be able to mute them later on. Mr. Zuga with the crazy bits, I'm noticing. Thank you so much. I feel bad that they're not showing on the screen. I feel like I'm cheating him out of them being shown on the screen. Thank you so much. That's a lot. I'm just noticing it now. The great notification the great notification quandary. We will resolve it in these 6 hours, but when, it's anyone's guess. Stay tuned to find out. Alright. We're about to be 10% of the way through. Lap 63 out of 630. Just gotta do what we've just done 9 more times and we'll be done. Sounds great. Can't get away from these middle positions though. This is just where I am. 15th, 16th. I mean, I have no idea where I'm going to finish in the race. I'll not know until the end. But this is where I am for the moment. Cheeky. Debris or so. Did someone really just ask in the chat how many cars are left? Can someone say? I mean, the lap counter's in the bottom right of the screen. Just putting it out there. A very simple 630 minus 64. There's your answer. Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for his life, or whatever that saying is. I don't know. Teach someone some maths, they'll be a better person at the end of it. Oh, the Vigero Rumbler. 2 Vigeros early on in close proximity. Nice cars. I am genuinely curious as to when I get the dozer. Like, I hope it's not the last lap and I'm in the lead just because I haven't had the dozer yet. And then I get the dozer and cars just come flying past me all the time. I could totally see that happening to me. Oracle XS. Interesting factoid about the Oracles. Back in 2013 and 2014, both Oracle variations were just called Oracle. They added the XS later. $250,000 bits. What has just happened? Mr. Suga. Isn't that... Wait, I can't work it out. That's I can't work it out. What? Isn't that $2,500? It's 250,000 bits. Someone, because I can't do the math, I can't do it. My brain stopped working. Can someone do 250,000 and just take 2 zeros off the end? 25k bits, not 250,000. Is it 25k bits? It's not. It is 25k bits. Whew. Okay. I was almost about to have a bloody heart attack. That's still, I'm still almost having a heart attack. That's still a lot. My brain couldn't take, do you know what? I genuinely couldn't count the number of zeros on the screen right there. Like, my brain is already failed. Amazing for that to happen on the F6200 lap. Of course it would. I can't believe I managed to get that car around the track. The way that this is going. Mr. Zuga also gave 100 gift subs earlier and has given a lot of other bits I've noticed during the stream. Thank you so much, man. Lap 69, yes, there's your nice. I will, obviously, we're going to go through all these notifications eventually. I'm struggling. Thank you so much. Everybody who's giving bits, donations, gift subs, all that kind of stuff. I can't cope with it right now. I don't know how I'm continuing to race, frankly. I don't know how I'm going to use this boost without hitting someone, so I guess I'm not going to. Ooh. There we go. Yes, speed! Fastest lap so far, thanks to the boost. Danny Annie in first place in that mariachi tornado. There's bad luck tonic. Rusty Emperor. Yeah, I am in a lonely 16th place. The gaps are massive. 43 seconds ahead of 17th, 22 seconds behind top 16 hype, top half. Do you know what? If I end up at the end of this race, if I end up in the top half, I'll be happy. Too much to take into account. In case you still get it wrong, it's Mr. Z as in zebra Tuga. Mr. Z Tuga, not Mr. Tsuga. Okay. Mr. Z Tuga. Can I just say Mr. Z? What a beautiful machine this is. Again, thank you for so much for the crazy donations and everything. Everybody. I can't quite handle this. That's without any notifications going up. Wait, I did use the boost and it wasn't working. I was pressing the stick. What is it to use the boost? I don't want to press anything else. It might have been like L1 or something. Never mind. That car's better without the boost. I do always forget about it, to be fair. Actually, Retro Rally. Okay, I can calm down a little bit now. That was a heavy moment. I can't even remember anything about the F6200 lap because of all that. I can't believe I managed to get it around the track. I wasn't like, that was totally subconscious driving that car around this track. Like, honestly, I wasn't concentrating at all to get that car around this track because I was too busy trying to work out what was going on with the donation. Like, completely and utterly muscle memory. I can't believe I got it around the hairpin. What's up, GTA, man? There it is, the 1 hour mark indeed. Thank you, chat. Chat, you're going to have to keep me right all the way through this race when major things happen. So, I guess this will be the start of... oh no, I'm going to do 100 laps, not 1 hour. I was thinking this was going to be the start of the next video, but... Chat, you need to remind me when we're on lap, like, 98. Or 97 or something. This is a great machine. Oh no! I hit the bloody pole! Oh, damn it. Just go. Yeah, that was a nightmare. Nightmare for all of us involved. See, that's the kind of thing that you gotta minimize, obviously. Like, the winner of this race really is probably gonna be the person who just has that happen to them the least. Just keeps it as clean as possible. And I think that is already not gonna be me. Given I've been involved in like 3 pretty major accidents slash waits. Ambulance hype. Hopefully I don't need one of these by the end of this. Okay, that was very dodgy to go for that move. Almost wiped me clean out. Still stuck in 16th. Bloody hell. I just stayed back there and just let all that happen in front of me. A pretty nice lap in the stratum. Still haven't had any of the Unholy Trinity yet. Karuma. I'd better not start talking about probabilities of what my probability is of getting at least one of the Unholy Trinity as the race goes on. People don't like that. Talked about the chance of me getting a tractor in that 131 lap random all. People did not like that. I did go on about it a little bit too much though. Nice and clean. Didn't Desert X just have the dozer? And he's gone straight into the tractor. Scramjet, we got that to come. Oh, another drift car. Is this drift car number 3? I see no drifting. That's because it's actually slower to drift. Of all the drift cars I've ever driven, whatever they've done with the handling changes for drift cars on this car has worked great. This actually feels really nice as a drift car. Chameleon. One of the 3... Oh! One of the 3 cars that was originally locked behind the collector's edition of the game back in 2013. Alongside the Hot Knife and the Carbon RS. Beautiful. Bestia GTS. Nice. Nice car, the Bestia. I feel like it's quite forgotten about. I don't think we're going to see a single one of the Unholy Trinity in this first 100 laps. Oh, 15th! A position change! Yes! 14th? Wait, I was already in 15th? Bloody Roman's carb, for God's sake. You speak why? I know, I shouldn't speak. This is what GTA 4 handling looks like in GTA 5. Pretty sure Roman's cab is just GTA 4. It's been directly ported from GTA 4 with the handling files remain the same. Is that Sarah brake boosting? I couldn't be brake boosting for 8 hours. I barely want to brake boost under normal circumstances. That was a mess, by the way. Well, good luck to it. You can brake boost for 8 hours. You deserve to win, I suppose. What was I going to say something. Oh yeah, there was a suggestion in the chat to potentially divide this up into like 90 lap videos instead of 100 lap videos, because it would be more even, I suppose. But I don't know, I'm not entirely sure, but I just feel like it's nice to go 1 to 100, 101 to 200, and then Rusty Surfer. And then just do a short video at the end for the final 30 laps. I think that'll be a nice way to like end it. So you don't have to, you know, if someone just wants to watch the end, they can just watch the final video and it's only 30 laps rather than having to, you know, watch an full hour video. And I think 7 videos works well as well because it's one video every day for a week. $630 videos, one vehicle per video. Rusty Surfer, the original slow vehicle from that very first episode that had me bad laughing. In that first random all when it was being showcased, the function itself. Good luck to everybody in this race who are actually like going for a good result, you know. I don't have the capacity to do that. GG to everybody who's sort of like the brake boosting and like actually trying to maximize it. I don't have the capacity to do that. I just can't. I just want to make it to the end. But massive respect to everybody who actually, you know, tries to do some like proper, concentrated, quick racing in an event like this. Had to do a clown van honk at the end. Alright, to Vest 8. Sneak up the inside again. It's like a tried and tested move this. That's like my signature move during this race. Sneaky up the inside in the hairpin. A few wee woos. I think there's going to be a wait coming. Saw that coming a mile away. 2 cop cars in a row. I'm enjoying this peace and quiet. 13:22 on the timer. It was 1 hour 13:22. I just saw that just as it happened. Happened to glance at the time. That'll happen, what, 5 more times, 6 more times, who knows, depending on how long it goes. Oh no, it won't. Yeah, it will. Yeah, I'm being silly. Second guessing myself and then realising I was actually right. Rusty Tornado ahead, 14 seconds though, so this looks a bit carnage filled into the hairpin. The Astor Rope ahead. He's taking that very easy. Sadler hype. Utility vehicles class in vanilla GTA. #1 utility vehicle in the game. Only 1 hour in and already having trouble telling time. This doesn't bode well. There's cars all over the bloody road. The Torero, so I've had both long boys. Super long. Both long boys in the first 100 laps, but not a single unholy trinity vehicle. Got some acceleration on it. Locust. A Locust that actually handles well. The Locust is really nice on FiveM Project Homecoming. Wish it was like this on vanilla. Where's he going? Merit. Alright, 4 laps to go before we hit lap 100. Lap 100 coming up. Thank you, chat. So if you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching it on the day that this goes up, it's only going to be 4 more laps left of this video, and then you'll have to wait until tomorrow for the next part. If you're watching this in the relatively near future, after all the parts are uploaded, you can just watch them all in the playlist, which is linked in the description or the pinned comment. And you guys are here in the chat. In the chat, you guys are here in the past, indeed. We're all in the past right now, to those who I'm talking to on YouTube. Drift Yosemite, no. Ruffy, I'm proud of you, buddy. Oh, thanks, Nos. Don't forget to hit that bell, yeah. Subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. If you want to see regular random all races, if you made it this far, you might as well. But there's, we've got another 6 hours to go. Or 7 hours. A lot. I'll put the chat on the screen so you can all say goodbye to YouTube for the first video. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to promise I'm going to do that at the end of every video, but I'll do it for the first one. Because I've had the idea now. 4 drift cars in the first 100 laps. You're all saying bye in the chat, but you can clearly see that the chat isn't on the screen yet. Lap 98. Wonder what the car's going to be for lap 100. How? Cyclone for lap 99. Fastest supercar in the game. Says people who don't know the actual fastest cars in the game. does have good acceleration though. I'll give it that. Good in a drag race, but that's it. Alright, lap 100. The Krieger. We've gone from a car that some people think is the fastest supercar in the game to what is pretty much on the pace of the fastest supercar in the game. This and the Emirates at the top. Bye bye YouTube. Thank you for watching up to lap 100. We'll see you in the next video tomorrow, or if you're watching it later, for in the playlist for the next 100 laps. Bye YouTube.